Hey everyone.
Hello, good evening.
So, sorry, we were supposed to do videos already, at least two. We forgot.
We did know we were just very busy.
Yeah, we moved to a new place in Schaerbeek. We're still in Schaerbeek, but on the other side of the park, now at Bienfaiteur. And we are excited about it.
Yes, we are. And
Yes.
we are still decorating the place and moving and emptying suitcases and stuff, so it's been
And
busy.
we still opt in to share because we believe that the future belongs to communities and we need to learn to share. And so we are again in a community. We are sharing with, we are 5 in total. And so it's great.
The house is very much alive. And yeah.
We
it's,
call it the vegan jungle.
Exactly, yeah.
So we're gonna do a housewarming and we're gonna ask everyone to come with a plant.
Yeah.
And they can leave a message on the plant so that they leave a part of them
Yeah.
right in our house.
Yeah, yeah. To make it into a real jungle, city jungle.
Right.
Love that.
So what happened also? Lane went to London for a
Yes.
week, 10
Yeah,
days.
for a 9-day very intensive training on facilitation and world work. So the idea is that you facilitate a group doing process work while you do it.
So what is process work?
Process
I
work.
didn't know neither.
No, process work is actually, and world work is very related. It's actually the processing of the traumas and the bad things that happened to humanity in history. It's actually processing that and really working with that in a group. And using the conflict and using the tension that is in the group because of that, and trying to understand each other in a better way and coming to better decisions in the end.
Which is something very important for this concept of deep democracy.
Yes, exactly.
Can you tell us more about that?
It's not a majority-minority way of making decisions. It is very much listening to the content of every argument and using that, and especially looking for contrasts. It does not mean that that everybody will end up with his or her idea in the end. That's not what it is. But it will mean that everybody's idea will be taken into account and will be listened to, and the wisdom that is in every idea will be taken along into the process. That's the idea.
So yeah, so it is very interesting because it's really about the collective intelligence and actually
Yes,
realizing
very much.
that everyone brings a different perspective that is worth listening to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you may have missed an angle, right? So it doesn't mean that everybody is right.
No.
But everybody brings a different perspective
Exactly.
that can help you get to a better decision together.
Yeah, it's definitely not anymore about right and wrong. One of the safety rules within deep democracy, for example, is that there is no monopoly on the truth. So there is no such thing as just one truth, and especially not yours.
So we did this on this Friday, actually, kind of a
Yesterday,
deep
yeah.
democracy exercise for Valentine's Day. You know, like some couples, like they go on a nice dinner and stuff, and
No,
she asked me out to do this deep democracy thing.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, we have been throwing golden arrows. Yeah.
Sounds hot.
It was. No, the golden arrow is actually a technique that is also used to mine conflict between two people, but you can also use it to give each other deep compliments. So what you do is you make time for each other, like half an hour or an hour, and you set up safety rules. That's the first one, and there's no monopoly on the truth is one of those safety rules. The second one is that you just start sharing compliments very deeply, and you do that 3 times. You take turns and you listen. You cannot interrupt, but you listen to each other.
So it's not a dialogue. So you talk, you know, for 5-10 minutes, and then you let the other talk, but it's not a dialogue. It's very important, actually.
Yeah, very important. You do active listening while you do it. And then in the third step, you have to share with the other person what touched you. So the things that that activated you in a bit, I didn't realize, or whatever happens in your head while the other person was talking. And then the fourth step is that you connect together again, and that you try to find out what you can learn from the exercise for your relationship.
But each on an individual level,
Yes.
right? So it's not, the goal is not about telling the other what the other should do,
No.
which is very top down and trying to control the other. It's really about like, hey, through that listening exercise and sharing exercise, like what personally did you learn from it, and what are you going to to do moving forward.
Yes.
Now that you've learned something.
Exactly.
And that was actually very interesting
It was
and very
nice.
refreshing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and sometimes you do come up with an idea like, hey, I didn't know that, and you team up and you come up with a new project or whatever that might happen. The good thing is that you don't only do it with lovers, but you can also just do it with your colleagues or your friends, like with your best friends. Take half an hour and tell them why you like them so much or what you admire in them. It might deepen the relationship and bring up some really nice feelings.
So here is a challenge. So, you know, and I would love to connect that also with this concept of Fridays for Future. As you know, Fridays for Future is this movement that has been started by Greta, and all the students every Friday are kind of going on strike for the climate. But students shouldn't be the only one doing something for the climate emergency. We all should be doing something. So the challenge here and the idea is to say like, hey, every Friday, actually, we should all strike in a way, but not to go on the street because we know that it doesn't work, but to basically work together with our colleagues wherever we work in private or public institutions and come up together, bottom up, with ideas of things that we can do, right? So Friday is basically you strike the GDP. You strike the priorities set by the hierarchy because those priorities are not aligned with what's needed to be done for the climate emergency.
Yes.
And so maybe one of those things actually so one way to start that could be to just plan, like schedule a weekly meeting every Friday with 2 or 3 colleagues to start with, where you just brainstorm about those type of things. But actually you could also plan another weekly Friday meeting to do a 101 with a different colleague every time to throw golden arrows.
Yes, but you know, the power of every idea exists from a good relationship. So invest in relationships, and you will see the benefit immediately.
Every organization is, what did you say? That every organization, the strength of any organization depends on the strength of the relationship.
Exactly. Margaret Wheatley, by the way.
Great book.
Yeah, great book.
Great book. So think about that. How can you use Fridays at work? And the way to hijack is that if you ask for permission, you won't get it. But it's always funny that in companies, for example, you need to ask for permission to spend $50, but you don't need to ask for permission to start scheduling a meeting with 10 people. So do that. Schedule a meeting every Friday. Start thinking about building relationship with your colleagues.
Yeah.
And brainstorm about what you can do with your colleagues, with the platform being offered by your company for the future.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan.
There we go. Fridays for Future.
Yay.
All right. And so see you next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.